Hi, thanks for tuning to my YouTube channel, What's That Girl Doing Now? Today we're going to look at the self-propelled lawnmower and how to fix it. Okay, my husband says the self-propelled is not working on our lawn boy, so I'm going to see if I can try to figure out what's going on with this thing. So I've got it propped up with this block here, and I'm going to try to take the wheel off and see what the problem is. Okay, so what I have here is a 1/2-inch socket. I'm just going to take this bolt off. Well, after turning and nothing happened, I see that there's a nut in there that's turning, so I gotta get. Okay, so I now have a 9/16 inch wrench on that. All right, there my little nut fell out. Take my wheel off. Here's the screw that was in there. And I got this thing here. And so let's take it off. And let's see what's going on there. Okay, I'm not sure if this is right or not, but it looks like the teeth here have ground off on the edge. I don't know if you can see that. And the same thing on this wheel. It looks like the inside of these teeth have been rounded off. So I'm not sure if that's engaging or not, if that's the problem. So let me do some more research and see if that's the problem. May need to buy it. After some research, this part right here, and I found this part right here. This gear actually comes all together on the wheel, so this will be a whole piece. So I called our local lawn place, and they have to order these pieces. There is a little pin on here. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's called a snap ring. So I don't have the tool to get that off, so I'm just going to go to my local hardware store and get what's called a snap ring pliers, the small one, and then I'll be able to get this ring off, and then hopefully this gear will come off. So it's going to take 3 business days for those parts to come in, so I'm going to put it on pause until then. Hi, I went to pick up my parts today for the lawnmower and found out that I had him order the wrong part. So these are the front wheels. So I thought, well, hey, since you got them ordered, why don't I go ahead and just check the front wheels and see how they are. And then also did get the gear in, and it looks like I am correct. These gears, these teeth should all be nice and square. So when the back tires come in, I will be replacing this and the new tires. So, but we'll get to that later. So I thought right now I would take off the front wheels and just take a look at them. We have the same thing we had on the back. Got a little nut here I gotta hold, and we'll just loosen this. Oops, hold on. Got it going the wrong way. Gotta make sure your wrench is going the right direction. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. So this is gonna go right. So there we go. Set that free. Take that off. If you've never used a wrench before, one of these, when you hear that clicking noise, that's just allowing you to take your handle back to a position that's easier to get your leverage on. So when you hear the clicking sound, it's not actually turning anything. To turn it, you gotta pull it that way and not hear the sounds. No turning, turning. No turning, turning. Okay? And yes, I'm working in white pants today because why do you have to be grungy to work on stuff? Who says you gotta be grungy? Why not try to look good while you're doing this kind of stuff? All right. Oh, there we go. And there's that wheel. And got a lot of grass. Okay, this one looks good. So we don't have to replace this one. Just clean it off. So I'm just going to put this front wheel back on. All right, now I'm going to check the other wheel. See how it's doing. You know, a lot of women are afraid to do something like this. But not me. I've always been the type that I want to get in there and I want to figure out how things are put together and how things work. And so I'm not afraid to take things apart and figure it out. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've never done this before. This is my first time. So we're learning together. So, okay, this wheel here looks really good. All the teeth look really sharp on it. And same with this gear. That gear looks really good. Teeth look really nice. They're even shiny. So we're gonna get this one put back together. And we're gonna call it a day on the front wheels. This is the tricky part. getting this nut back on in the back. But you do it just right and you will get it. My husband and I used to work together in a pharmacy before we got married. And one day we had a locked file cabinet we couldn't get unlocked. And he told me one day, he says, I was trying to get into that file cabinet, he says, that's locked. I said, oh, okay. He goes, I've tried, I've worked on it. I'll never, you can't get that open. Well, buddy, that was my challenge. And then you would, about an hour later, guess what? I had that file cabinet unlocked. Had it all apart, but I got it unlocked. So, you never know until you try. And the more you try, the more practice you get, the more you start figuring stuff out. So as a woman, don't be afraid to get in there and get your hands dirty. Just don't get your clothes dirty because you want to look nice while you're doing it. All right, we got that tire put back together. Front wheels are good to go. We'll wait on the new parts for the back. Okay, we're back again. Now I got my right tires, and I got my little wheels, and I got my snap ring pliers. All right, let's get this tire off. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this gear off here. So if you can see, there's these little holes, and this little pliers go right in those holes. And when you squeeze the pliers, the ring comes apart, and it allows you to take it off. Okay, I'm having a little bit of issue with this ring. I've never done this before. Okay, I finally got the little ring off. I couldn't get those pliers to work, so I just used my own way of doing it. So I got that off. So now the gear, it was on like that, so I was able to just slide that off. But I noticed I have the wrong gear. This one is way too big, so this must have been for the front wheel. So now, just to be able to mow, I'm going to flip this this gear around and use this side. So it was on like that. So now I'm going to flip it around like that and see if my husband can mow that way. I'm going to put this ring back on. See, these won't even fit in the hole. These are too big for this, and none of those tips will fit. Alrighty, I'm back. So I got frustrated with those snap ring pliers. They were too cheap. So I took them back and I got this brand here, and let's see how it does. Okay, and like I said earlier, this is a different wheel than what the front, or gear than what the front takes. So I'm gonna just flip the gear around. So if you can see how the teeth are worn off here. And this side here looks really nice. So I'm just gonna flip the gear around on the lawnmower and see if that will just fix it for now. Temporary fix. So these pliers are, you can reverse them. So if you squeeze them here, it brings the tips together. See that? Or if I flip this switch, now when I squeeze them together, it pulls it apart. So these will go either way. Yay! Love it. All right, let's put our new wheel on. Oh, gotta put this on. Open that up. We're gonna put our new wheel on now. Get a bolt here. Otherwise it gets all over you. All right, one wheel down, let's do the other one. All right, here we go. Okay, I've got the wheel off. Now we're going to take the snap ring off. This gear is worn on the inside. That gear was worn on the outside. So these pliers are really nice. So they gave me this bag with all these extra tips in it. And it has its own little wrench, Allen wrench here that I can change them out with. It's nice. Let's try these tips. Ah, there we go. That was simple once I got the right tips on. Okay, take this off and I'm going to turn this around just like I did the other one. Put my snap ring back on. Yay, that was simple. Okay, and that's my old wheel. And again, now this one, the teeth were the outside rather than the inside, like the other wheel. This one has a washer with it, so I'll put that back on. Make sure to put all the extra little parts that are on there. Make sure that those go back in. Line everything back up. Put our nut here on. Remember righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Tighten it down as tight as you can get it. Woo! Wheel number 2. Now I'm going to have him start it, and we'll see if that does any better. The self-propel. Okay, squeeze it, see what you think. All right, dear, you've mowed with it. What do you think? How did it work?
Just like you knew, baby.
Awesome! Woohoo! All right, he said it works great. Way to go, girls. See, we can do it. So if it acts up again, like it was before, I'll know that I have to replace that gear because that gear can no longer be flipped around. It's now met its life expectancy. So, that makes me so happy. Now we can mow the yard again. So just as a note to self, my husband and I have done a lot of projects around our house, and we've found that when you have the right tool, it makes the job a whole lot easier. So don't always just try to skimp out on your tools. It doesn't mean you have to buy the most expensive thing, but don't buy the cheapest thing either, because as you saw with this thing, how much of a difference it made. So I hope that this video challenges you to not be afraid to take on the unknown. Take it apart, figure out how it works, and put it back together. What do you have to lose? The worst thing that's going to happen is you either can't figure it out, or 2, you can't put it back together, and you're going to have to take it to the shop anyway, which is what you were going to have to do in the first place. So, or go buy a new one. If you like this video and it encourages you to try new things and get out of your shell, great. Click the like button. And I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel, and that way you won't miss any of my new videos that I have coming out. I'll see you next time.